Welcome to Beaded Doilies by Shell. In this video we are going to begin hinging our kaleidocycle together. What we're going to do is we're going to take two of our pyramids and make what I call the butterfly stage, where you can just hinge them back and forth. What you will need is one pyramid from each pile, so that means one pyramid from diagram 1 and one pyramid from diagram 2. Then you'll find your little extra beads, and this is design 1 with the fuchsia, so we will bring those together, and we have our little extra beads each next to each other. And at this point we'll want to check and make sure that everything matches, because if you grab two pyramids from the same pile, it won't match up correctly. So see here, we have fuchsia next to fuchsia, we turn it, and we have turquoise next to turquoise, turn it again, and we have purple next to purple. Then when we come back, we can flip it as though it's hinged, and then we check again: purple, purple, topaz, topaz, turquoise, turquoise. So we know that we have our two pyramids from the two different diagrams, and they're matching correctly. So we'll flip it back so we see our little extra beads, and then we'll set them down so that the extra beads are facing us and towards each other. Then we'll take our string, and on one of the pyramids, the very bottom bead, our connection bead from the previous sewing the large triangles together, we're going to go through the bottom one. Then we're going to add one bead to each string. And then the string on this side is going to go through the bottom connection bead on the opposite one from this direction. And then the string on this side will enter from this direction, and you will have crossed that bottom bead on the opposite triangle. Then we'll take both of our ends and bring it together, and there, as you can see, we have added the first hinge. Now what we want to do is on the triangle or the pyramid where our string is currently, we want to go through the two beads in between the connection. So the string coming out on this side will go through these two beads, and the string coming out on the other side will go through the two beads on that side. And now the strings will each cross this next connection bead, each entering from the side that they're on. That's the first one. And the second one. And then you just continue to repeat that all the way up until you've connected the entire side. Now I am going to continue doing it in the video, but it will be a little harder to see as the pyramids get sewn together, so I just wanted to let you know that the process is exactly the same going all the way up. Now we're going to add a bead to each string, then cross the bead on the opposite pyramid, as I don't use needles, I sometimes use my clippers to get the bead to come out a little bit so I can get my string through it. Oh, I forgot to mention, sorry about that, string length for adding your hinge is 2.5 feet for the 4mm plastic beads and about 2 feet for the seed beads. Now we will go through. Now it will be a little loose as you go. I'm not sure the best way for you to lay this out as you go. Kind of do different things each time depending. You could try, well, I guess maybe if you had it like this, then you could turn it and work your way down, and that way your two are close to each other. But you want to try a few different things to see what works best for you. I actually find putting it in my lap, one pyramid on each leg, and then letting it sort of lay on the legs here, and then it stays together like that. Makes it a bit easier to actually sew it together. So if you can do it in your lap, that would be probably a little easier for you. Oh, I'm just going to leave it like this. And then besides, you'll probably be able to see what I'm doing a little easier with it spread out. And then I can just tighten it up at the end. And then we cross the corresponding bead on the opposite pyramid. And go through the next two side beads. And then cross the next connection bead. Get the string in there. There it goes. Then add a bead to each string. And then cross the opposite. Now I'm going to pull it tight a bit. Like a shoestring. Got to work it tighter. Now that I have a few on, it will hold itself a little better. And we go through the side beads again. And cross. And add 2 beads. cross on the opposite pyramid. A little bit of string trouble here. There we go. Then the next side beads. Then we cross. Then we add a bead to each string. And we cross on the opposite pyramid. And we go through the next side beads. And we cross. Then we add one to each string. And we cross on the opposite pyramid. We go through our side beads again. And we cross the connection bead. We add one to each string. And this time we're just going to go with one through the connection bead. And here we will tie our knot. And I put the knot in the bead that I just added. Just go through that bead and then pull the knot inside and pull tight. And there you've created your butterfly. And then for the string, you can just bead any direction you want. I just recommend going at least like 5 or 6 beads away. It's a little more difficult here because your beads are all close together, but you could go down and then over one. And then back up, which will make it a little easier. And then clip off the excess. And then do the same on the other side, and it don't matter which way you go, as long as you just sort of do a loop-de-loop with it and then clip it off, you're all set. And then now that we have these together, we can go ahead and clip off these extra beads here. Just be careful when you do it. You only clip their string and not a different string. And then you have your piece. Now I recommend that you do this with all 3 sets so that you have 3 butterflies, and then in the next video we will begin using the exact same process to sew together your butterflies and make the kaleidoscope. Hope to see you there.